What's up guys, it's your boy Smash back with another Destiny video. Today I'm going to be checking if I look bright enough on the camera. Ooh, that's too bright. I think that's good, just one. Um, yeah, so let's start off on our Titan. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the PvE loadout that I like to run on Destiny pretty much all the time. So this loadout is it's very flexible with the supers. Supers could be anything you want. Preferably, I'd like to run stasis, but I can't run stasis, so Sentinel, Military Sentinel is the second best option because this is a very explosive heavy, ad clearing heavy uh, build. So this has Outbreak Perfected with Salvager Salvo, which by the way I have my PvE setup, PvP setup on. It should be on PvE, and my Solo Scar, which I have an absolute goggle on, and nobody could convince me otherwise. And we have our Sentinel with suppressor nades and with the void detonators on middle tree. Again, I was just playing PvP, so I'm definitely not well set up for this. But yeah, the cool thing about this setup is that you have you just got so much to work with. It's a lot of explosive stuff, right? So it's like it's pretty fun. You pretty much never run out of ammo if you're using a grenade launcher or sword. It's almost always accessible for you. Actually, you know what? Since I'm running a sword, I think I should run. Instead of running these two resistances, I can just run sword reserves, right? And yeah, let's test out this loadout in Altars of Sorrow because that's the only fun activity I could do as a person with no expansions on PC. um, yeah, I'm pretty broke right now, so I just don't want to buy another set of expansions. Like 3 of them. What is it? We have Forsaken, Shadowkeep, and Beyond Light. So they got this pack going on that's supposedly going to expire in like 11 hours. Get all 3 expansions for like 45 bucks. And I'm thinking like, I'm really not going to be playing this that much. So is it really that much worth it? But whatever. Let's see what wave these guys are on. Decrease my volume. Oh, they're on tier 1. What's the beauty? Well, we have more time to spend with this loadout. So, as you can see, like, the nanites, they just spread. Like, look at that. It's freaking infection. COVID, but the gun. And, look at all them explosions. Plus, the fire lingers too, which is, like, super cool. And I have Relentless on the sword, so I can just swing and get some ammo back as I'm swinging. Again, the chain reaction, like, one swipe kills like 3 of them, at least. If I bundle it up correctly. How do I do tricks? I gotta figure that out. How to do tricks on your Sparrow? Hold on. It's, oh, shift. Oh. I did my first flip. Ah, wait. All right, hold on. I got you. I'm a god. I'm an SRL god. Alright. Yeah, so you get, not only do you get chain reaction from the sword, it's okay if you don't have the sword, but it's definitely what makes this build whole. Without the sword, I was running, what do you call it? The raid sword, which was, I forgot the name of it. The Quest, I think that was the name, yeah. And it had Relentless and Fresh, which got me my super pretty quick, which was good, right? But it didn't have like that same like fun factor as the sword I have on right now. He's gonna sacrifice. Or I guess not. Wow, he just stayed alive for so long. And you, of course, you got your Sentinel, which is also all about explosions. Now, if I really wanted to complete the explosive build, I would have gone for something a little more explodey from my kinetic. So I guess something like Ace of Spades, or what else? I'm trying to think of anything else that causes explosions. That's exotic and a primary. Well, let's say Ace of Spades. And why I'm choosing Outbreak over something like Ace. Well, the thing with Outbreak is that it's got this feature where the longer you shoot it, the more damage you do on whatever you're shooting at. Plus, with its catalyst, it just continues that trend of like building up damage, because the nanites go to whatever enemy is next, right? And so wherever the nanites go, you can shoot your Outbreak at them, and since the nanites are already on them, you're already dealing more damage than usual, right? So that's why I feel like Outbreak's like really underrated. If you use Outbreak as a team, it's like you benefit so much, and people refuse to run it because like why would I give up my exotic slot for something like Anarchy? Well, you'll be surprised how much better Outbreak does in some situations than Anarchy. Like Anarchy's good there, killing that Swordbreaker Nightmare, but Outbreak, you know, when you have the whole team using it, the team of 3 running a Nightfall, for example, you're killing champions so fast, you're killing ads so fast, it's doing both the jobs, and it doesn't require that much, you know, like you don't have to look around for heavy. You could just use a rocket launcher instead if you want to use some heavy duty ammo. But your Outbreak pretty much acts as a special weapon, and then, you know, over time it's like a heavy weapon, the longer you shoot it. That's just the way Outbreak is designed. It just gets better the more you shoot it. It's supposed to be better the longer you shoot it. That's just the whole purpose of the gun. So, yeah, that's just me going off tangent about why Outbreak is just freaking awesome. And that's why I have so many kills on it. I have 13,000. I don't think I have any other gun with 13,000 kills on the tracker. Or more than that. Plus with the Outlaw, you know, it's just phenomenal, right? I think I'm just gonna keep this going until I get something. I think today's the Heretic, or Heretic, however you want to pronounce it. The nanites stick too, you know? It's not like there's a cap, you just do more damage. Like, look at this. The health is just chipping off, and I don't even have the Nightmare Essence. Okay, let me put it on, actually. Or Unstable Essence, that's what they call it. Alright, get some... Nanites are stuck onto him. Just look at that health drop. And the nanites are still on them. And I'm still dealing damage. I'm in the 3000s territory now. Oh, that ogre's being annoying. Alright, these are all being annoying. Jeez. Now that I got some heavy, I could just feel free to use this. Sucks how if you're on if you're cross-playing and you play on another system, you have to buy the expansions again. Which, you know, I guess I'll cut them some slack. They did give us a free PS5 boost when we went from PS4 to PS5. And gotta say that's what actually pushed me to buy this PC, because I'm like, man, if 60 FPS looks this good, imagine like 144 frames with like crazy high specs, you know. I was playing Minecraft the other day with shaders and ray tracing, and geez, it's just something else. Surely something else. It's like I'm playing a whole new game, like Minecraft 2. It's really something otherworldly. It's something you can only experience either by looking at YouTube videos or playing it yourself, and, you know, I'd rather do the latter. Trying to see if this is still working, because sometimes my video recording software bugs out in the middle and just stops recording. These ogres got aimbot on. Just that one. Ooh, get suppressed. Got a temptations hook. Oh yeah, and the reason why I use this sword is cause here, let me show you. I gotta head over somewhere. I feel like these guys could take on the last nightmare by themselves. Alright, Temptation's hook is a caster frame, right? And Solo Scar is also a caster frame. And as you can see, you know, but the thing that Temptation's hook has that the thing that Solo Scar has that Temptation's hook doesn't have. Well, how do I compare? There's gotta be a way to compare. How do you compare? I'm actually trying to. Is it Q? Q. It's Q. Okay. Look at the impact. Just look at it. Sure, the charge rate's higher. I'll give it that. But look at the impact. The impact is much, much higher on the Solo Scar. Like, that's a good 30% right there, damage increase. Just from the impact. And yeah, let's say the ammo capacity is not as high. It's probably because I have Jagged Edge on. But, you know, like, I totally take more damage overall than whatever Temptation's hook is offering. Like, this thing has Hungry Edge and Honed Edge, right? But then even if I have Jagged Edge, it goes up just a little bit, but it's nothing compared to how much more impact Soul Scar had. And I don't even have an Adept Impact mod. I have Adept Big Ones, which, you know, is better for the most part. I should really help these guys. But yeah, that's why I just love using Soul Scar, because it's like, it deals the same amount of damage as your Fallen Guillotine. Granted, it doesn't have the same, like, R2, like, strong ability, like that little swirly attack, but it's got chain reaction, right? Fallen Guillotine doesn't have chain reaction. The whole point of this is explosions like that. And, the salvo, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, the reason why I use salvo is because it's the closest thing I'll ever get to having mount top again. I think that's why a lot of people use it. It's like a little bit of a replacement. I used the wrong sword. I thought I picked it up. Yeah, it's just something to have in between to help us cope with the loss of mountaintop. Because let's be honest, nothing will ever beat OG mountaintop. Right now I got nerfed to the ground, so it's barely even usable. Plus it's sunset, so it's totally not usable. I'm gonna use my super on this wizard. 1, 2, 3. There you go. The good old Crota strat. Everybody knows that strat. And if you don't, you know now. Just look at the explosions. Oh, they're a little delayed for some reason. Same thing with Firefly. Firefly's very delayed. Actually, now that he's running Thunder Crash, I kind of want to run Thunder Crash too. I feel like that'll help speed this up a lot. And maybe after I pop my super and then tier 5, I'll switch to Thunder Crash and help out with DPS. I've noticed I haven't ran out of ammo, like at all. I mean, yeah, it's a horde mode type activity, so maybe that's why, but I'm using ammo as soon as I get it, and I'm just not running out. The Relentless Strikes really helps, I'll be honest. It's definitely a plus, just because we can just keep swiping, and, you know, actually, I have to check if I have a Relentless Strikes, not Vorpal, but a Relentless Strikes Whirlwind roll for a constant DPS. I don't know if Whirlwind times 5 is better than Vorpal. If it's the same, then that's no good. But if it's better, then I'll definitely want to try that out. I do like my chain reaction, so I'm just gonna stick with this as my main. But I want to try out the relentless whirlwind roll that I have. I just don't know if it's a depth or not. I hope it's a depth because I could just put on a depth big one. I got peacekeepers out of that. Interesting. I do like to run Huckleberry a lot, so I'm just hoping this is a high intellect and discipline roll. We have a lot of extras that we don't need. Alright, moment of truth. Low intellect and recovery. Not good enough. Not what we want. I feel like some of these exotics need to be buffed. Aeon Souls had a proper treatment. They got the buff that they deserved. It's really good. I mean, everybody knew at one point Aeons are going to be meta again, at least for hunters, because Titans and Warlocks, they have a lot of other good exotics to run in PvE. But Aeon is definitely the thing to run if you're running something like a Stasis Hunter. Aeon is just, you know, you come across so many champions, you'll be making so much heavy for your team, right? If you're doing some sort of like Master Nightfall or Grandmaster. Last week actually, when it was, what was the thing called again? I just suppressed myself, I suck. When it was Proving Grounds for the Nightfall, the Aeon Soul Hunter really clutched it up. Because we got a lot of Anarchy, and we were able to just use the Anarchy and unload it on any champion that we find. And so, and we never worried about losing ammo because we had the Aeons person. So, it was nice. 1, 2, 3. The formula at that point. There's this one wizard and the wizard in the back. This guy looks like he's got it. He or she. Or they. I want them to release some sort of hive sword. I said I was going to switch to Thunder Crash, but I might as well just stick to what I got. I want them to release some sort of hive sword exotic, or like a variant of it. Like, we got some sort of Scorch Cannon weapon, or like we can make some weapons behave like Scorch Cannons because of the new perk Lasting Impression, which I thought is pretty cool. I'm thinking like swords could have their own perk that's like akin to the hive swords. So like something like oh wow, not a sword, I was just gonna use mine. Something like if you're full on sword charge and you have your super, you could use half your super and do like a powerful slam that does like a crap ton of damage. It wouldn't be OP in Crucible at all. It would be more of a PvE thing, similar to Lasting Impression. Although I've seen some pretty funny plays with Lasting Impression in Crucible. Like, the people sticking the enemies, and then the enemies like run back to their teammates in panic, and they end up getting like all of themselves killed. Pretty funny to watch. But yeah, like something like that, like sacrificing some of your super energy for extra damage on your sword when you do R2, like hold R2 for extra damage. Oh, actually no, I thought of one. So you hold R2 when your super energy is full, and the longer you hold it, the more super energy you consume, but the more damage you do. So let's say I'm holding it and I've consumed 1 bar of my super out of the 4 that you see right now. Then I'm dealing like 100% damage with that charged R2 attack. Looks like we're getting the sniper today, damn. And then if I consume 2 bars of super, I do like 175% damage with that R2 attack. And it's like, you know, you could charge it up right before damage phase starts, and then right when it starts, you just release the R2 and you do a lot of burst damage together. That's just what I'm thinking. It's like a possible. I mean, it's more of an exotic trait now that I think about it. but I guess it could work. There's a lot of weapon perks that are like, you know, really fun to mess around with. Chain reaction being one of them. What they should do is put chain reaction on a fusion with auto loading holster and probably call it main ingredient. Just a thought. Or not main ingredient, sorry, I screwed it up. Loaded question. That's the name. They could probably call it the loaded answer. Sounds like they're playing the Gauss music. Alright, Tanix. This is like the 4th edition of you that I'm fighting. We have, this looks like exactly like the rated version of him. Except he has a different gun, it's not really a Scorch Cannon. It's like, well, I mean in the raid. Right now he has a Scorch Cannon, but in the raid he has something else. I don't know what it was though. He's doing some pretty good damage. How cool would it be if I meleeed and my ammo got reloaded? Monte Carlo style. Oh, he's dead. Bye, Tanix. Died for like the 65th time. Alright, let's get a sniper. Yeah, you could just tell. I know, what was it? Bogoth is your heretic. Tanix is your sniper. I forget who's the rocket. Might be... Oh, Zydron, I think. The Gate Lord from D1. I think he's the rocket launcher guy. But yeah, I mean, as you've seen there, I had a pretty good time running this loadout. No issues. Like, like why am I not doing so much damage? I had fun. It's a really fun loadout to mess around with. Before we get off for the night, it is running kind of late. It's almost 12. No distractions of Wellspring. Like, why? That's such a bad roll. For that Thresh, I'd probably consider it, because Thresh got buffed actually. But nah, it's just not a good roll to keep. Anyways, guys, thank you for messing around in my PvE video. I'm like totally gonna go to sleep, and I'm totally gonna consider buying the expansions. It is 40% off. Thinking if I should really get it. Actually, no. I keep saying before I get off. Let me actually try something. Can I load the Grandmaster? Ooh. Okay. Alright. There is this loadout that involves one well, one Chaos Reach, and one Tether. Definitely gonna try that out on PC, LFG sometime soon. I'll put that'll be a video idea. Alright guys. Thank you for sticking with me, and I'll catch you on the next one.